You must not allow them to capture any more of the rings. Gather together all 12 rings.
No! Please!
Lights from 1,000 years ago, shaking off a hazy dream. Our kingdom is in danger. Meet the flower who cares for everyone. The rising force of black and steel, fighting in the desert.
Mechanically, Fire Emblem Engage has to be one of the soundest entries into the series. From the way they handle weapons, to classes, to skills, it shows that they have taken any and all suggestions from the community and have been working to make sure that the mechanics hold up. Personally, I would argue that Engage has some of the most gripping gameplay that the series has seen for a while. Units are no longer infinitely thrown into the XP grinder until every single one has the perfect build. Now builds feel more natural, flowing and growing with you as you journey to save the troubled continent of Ilos. You can of course plan your builds, and are rewarded like you were in previous titles. It is undeniable, however, that you can stumble into many amazing and fun builds, no longer punished for exploration as the game gives you a steady supply of resources to work with, which is definitely a strength of this game. While I enjoyed the meticulous planning and grinding of earlier titles, like Awakening of Fates, it was a nice change of pace to let the mechanics do the legwork, and to let characters grow as the devs intended alongside this series' new system, Emblems. The Emblem system is fun and easy to use, bringing back some beloved characters and offering a level of unit customization previously unseen. Each unit has their strengths and weaknesses, which can morph depending on the unit type you give them to, and the devs went the extra mile to explain its place in this world and to make it feel like it's been in this series since the beginning. Now I could go on and on about every little thing I love about the mechanics of Engage, yet I feel like it would be a disservice to the viewer and detract from the huge, glaring faults of the characters and a few of the questionable design choices made by intelligent systems. The story, in a vacuum, is serviceable. It's extremely simple and doesn't strive to change gaming as we know it. Yet, due to the glaring issues present in this game, I cannot recommend it in good faith. First of all, the characters are dull and lack substance. They all pander to the main character, intelligent systems evidently not caring to deviate from their path of Wattpad-esque MCs, and backing up with dialogue that just drags on far longer than it needs to. It would be one thing if the dialogue was remotely entertaining, but it is mainly just MCU humor and hero worship. There is one moment in particular that really irks me. I will flash a timestamp on screen for those to skip to if they do not want spoilers, as I cannot discuss this scene without going into detail. Now for those still listening. After the events of Chapter 6, your character finds themselves heading towards Brody, kingdom within Ilos. At the border you are shot out with an arrow, the arrow just barely missing your face. Your character looks to see who fired the arrow, and you are met with a menacing glare. The scene felt tense, the music adding to the tumultuous moment. You and this archer are trading words, the suspense is building. Another arrow could fly towards you at any moment until you explain who you are. The archer, not trusting you, but not wanting to deny the possibility that you are who you say you are, takes you with them to meet the king, forming a temporary but shaky alliance. For those who've played the game, you know that this isn't entirely what transpired. No, instead of the archer questioning you, or not entirely trusting you at the very least, the game quickly backpedals on any real sense of storytelling. Instead having that character who almost took your life turn into some sniveling idiot. A sniveling idiot who you stand there talking with for almost 6 minutes. The dialogue went on for so long I had to skip it to preserve my sanity. What could have been this tense scene that set the pace for the rest of the game became some cringy, half-baked attempt at humor. Now I'm not saying the game can make jokes and it can't try to subvert your expectations, but the issue is all the dialogue is this cringy. It's the most unfunny, non-entertaining, hard to sit through dialogue in the series. The character interactions of this game are just bad. There will be some moments where the writing shows promise, hinting that it might have been written by someone over the age of 13. But it always reverts back to the same god-awful exchanges. But this, my dear friends, is not the greatest sin of this game. You see, in the last few entries, you've had the ability to marry your character off to the other characters. This alone is not an issue. Romance sells copies at the end of the day. What is an issue, however, is when your characters who are of age can get married to literal children. Now, we'll credit the English localization team. They have done an outstanding job of censoring all the disgusting elements of this game and have tried to do the best they can with an awful situation. However, it does not change the fact that the game has many disturbing elements involving children. From ASMR where these children come wake you up, to the fact that the game lets you dress these kids up in tight and revealing clothes, and the fact that in the original dialogue, you can literally get married to children. It shows that the team behind Engage has some very questionable and abhorrent views. And until there is an update entirely removing these disgusting elements, I cannot recommend this game. It's also disturbing seeing some of the dialogue around the censorship done by the localization team. People accusing them of homophobia for taking it out, being okay with the sexualization of these characters because it's fiction. A whole host of deranged and disturbing arguments made by these people. This game is not only harmful for fueling predatory desires, but also for marketing it to a young and impressionable audience. After all, the player base does not consist purely of fully cognitive adults. It shocks me a great deal to know that Nintendo approved of this game with all the harmful elements it contains. I would have hoped to think Nintendo would have tried to protect their young audience from being exposed to such disgusting things through their games, especially seeing as they are known for having generally family-friendly games. And what's more disturbing is that the game has a PEGI rating of 12 and above, when the game shouldn't have been allowed to sell in the current state that it is in. Due to IRL setbacks, this video came out later than expected. We had originally planned to release this a week or two after Engage had come out, but sadly, were unable to meet the deadline. This left us with an issue. Do we scrap this video we worked hard on, or do we maybe release it even with an ending that didn't fit? Eventually, we decided on a third outcome, changing the ending to be a few questions directed at you, the viewer. Firstly, do you think that us, the consumer, should continue to support devs that put disgusting things in their games? And secondly, should non-Western developers be required to conform to Western ideals to be allowed to sell their products here? Leave your answers in the comments below. And thank you for taking the time to watch our video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like. If you have more time or want to watch something more lighthearted, please consider taking a look at our channel. We hope to see you all again, and goodbye.
You sweating, but I got it dope. You like how I live on my own. Yeah, she bad way down to the bone. Yeah, your nigga wanna be on the soldiers. That nigga's hot down and sober.